Now let's take that information about the budget constraint and combine it with our information about preferences to pin down the conditions that a consumer is going to satisfy if they're being asked to spend their money. So this is the set of choices they have. And we said by non-satiation, they're going to want to have more food and more shelter if they can afford it. Okay. We now also have, let's add to this information about their preferences. So we can add a couple indifference curves like this. And remember, each one of these is associated with a utility number. We could say this is the utility of 1. This might be a utility of 2, utility of 3, 4. Remember, the numbers don't really matter. All that matters is the order. So we could change these all to hundreds and it wouldn't matter. But anyway, they do tell us the set of food and shelter that makes this person indifferent, okay? And we can see here that, they would prefer to be up in this upper right corner. They'd like to be on this utility 4 line, but there are no combinations of food and shelter that are affordable and deliver a utility of 4. So that's infeasible, okay? Same with 3. And we can tell that because this indifference curve nowhere crosses the budget constraint. On the other hand, if they want to have a utility equal to 1, they have 2 choices. They could consume this bundle here, or they could consume this bundle here. And in fact, they could actually consume any bundle on that line between those two because those are technically affordable. They're underneath the budget constraint, and so the consumer could choose those. And any one of these would give it a utility equal to 1. But remember, utility is telling us what they prefer, and they would prefer basically to be on a higher utility level if they can afford it. And as I've drawn it, we can see that there is a single position right there where they can get utility equal to 2, and they can afford it. They don't have a lot of choices like they did down here about how to get you to 2 utility. There's only one way to do it, but still, that's the best they can do, and so that's going to be their optimal choice. So we want to find the place where the utility, let's call this an indifference curve because that is the name, where the indifference curve is tangent to the budget constraint. So BC for budget constraint. And that's at the let's call it the utility maximizing bundle. I've lost my little cursor. Here it is. Okay. So what does this tangency tell us? Well, tangency tells us the slopes are the same, okay? And the slopes of each of these things are very specific, all right? So the slope of the budget constraint is equal to negative PS over PF. And the slope of the indifference curve is equal to, well, we don't know, but it's called the marginal rate of substitution. And what we've shown graphically is that at the optimum, the marginal rate of substitution is equal to the ratio of prices implied by the budget constraint. Okay? And it turns out that's going to be enough information for us to figure out what a consumer is going to buy.